Before we dive into what it might be like to have a consumer experience inside Second Life, let's figure out what exactly Second Life is and isn't. Now, many people, when they think about Second Life, or they hear about it through friends, they think of it as a game, almost like a World of Warcraft, where an entire world is built by a professional company, a single entity, to describe a certain narrative, to describe a certain experience. Second Life isn't anything like that. Second Life gets its content directly from its users, and that creates a wide array of experiences that people can share collaboratively. This system has been in place for almost 13 years now, and many other competitors who work in this area have come and gone. Over $500 million has been spent trying to overcome what Second Life has created. But Second Life keeps going strong, it keeps evolving, and it keeps getting better and better. Linden Labs sums up this whole concept in 4 words. Your world, your imagination. If you can think of something and you have the drive to make it real, Second Life is the place to do it. And as far as I know, the only place. And it's a huge place. What you see here is just a small tile of the world that is being simulated 24/7 for 13 years. All these different places you see here are created by different people with different temperaments and different artistic vision. Some might be games, others might be art installations, while still others may be shopping centers or little kiosks that sell their goods. And joining this world is so simple. They've created a suite of very good-looking and modern avatars. All you have to do is click Join Now, and within 15 minutes, you're in-world, walking around, consuming, and perhaps even building. And while Second Life started on the PC, its open source nature has allowed other developers to take the client code, which interfaces with a cloud-rendered world, and they can put it on any number of devices. Nowadays, you can find Second Life clients on tablets, phones, and even the Oculus Rift, where you can experience everything in full 3D, stereoscopically. Here's an image of what many people think when they think Second Life. These are very poorly rendered avatars. This is back from 2003, and given that Linden Labs has stood behind their product for 13 years, you can imagine it's evolved considerably since then. As you can see, a lot's changed. Even by 2007, there's a noticeable change in the quality of the goods and the quality of the avatars. And that's due largely to the users. The users themselves were pushing the technology and pushing the artistic skill with which they built their own goods. And as you step through 2008, 2009, and 2010, you can see a considerable change. Now, in 2011, there was a punctuated evolution in this sort of content. By 2011, users reached the limit of how realistic they could make the default avatar's body look. In response, Linden Labs gave residents the ability to create and upload their own custom-rigged meshes. Coupled with a variety of new shaders and texture capabilities, the creative community went crazy. Nowadays, it can sometimes be difficult to distinguish real-world photography from that of the Metaverse. Punctuated evolutions such as these are now communicated in-world, as we call it, in virtual global presentations that feature Q&A with in-world celebrities, as well as real-world icons, such as Ebbe Altberg, CEO of Linden Labs. In fact, in the final days of 2015, Linden Labs unlocked yet another piece of state-of-the-art technology, making it available to content creators such as myself for experimentation. Project Bento, as it is called, offers creators a state-of-the-art skeletal rigging system and mesh that'll last well into the future. This new armature features articulated fingers. While this may seem like an unnecessary level of minutiae for some content creators, I believe it actually telegraphs a plan by Linden Labs to add real-world hand tracking to Second Life, hand and finger, allowing avatars to parrot their operators' real-world gestures, critical in the coming year. Additionally, the extraordinary amount of control points that have been just recently added to the face suggest that facial feature tracking will be added as well. Numerous aspects of their implementation suggest that this is their ultimate goal, not that they would be animated by hand. Live experiments such as these are paving the way to Project Sansar, the next iteration of Linden Labs' Metaverse. Linden Labs seeks to take all of their evolutionary learning and recast it with intelligent design in a more modern code stack, more ideally suited to modern hardware, content creation pipelines, and development environments. For a detailed description about this reboot of the Metaverse, I strongly suggest watching this half-hour video. As you can see, I've provided URLs as well as a QR code. While I've jotted down some of the highlights, this video is thick with information and forward-looking discussion. Project Sansar is currently in alpha. Access to it is invite only, with only high-end content providers being given early access. I'm currently doing everything in my power to ensure that I get on that list. For now, though, let's return to Linden Labs' current offering, Second Life, and those wonderful avatars we saw earlier. And it's avatars such as those that populate spaces such as this. Again, everything you see here was created by a resident of Second Life. Linden Labs had absolutely no part in building any of these assets. The only thing Linden Labs does is give people a forum through which they can sell goods of this quality. But reality isn't the only quality bar. Many people gravitate towards Second Life because they enjoy the artistic expression that they can find nowhere else. Artists can come together and collaborate to create looks you'll never find in reality. Looks that make them feel unique. Looks that also help them fit in with new and strange surroundings, where they can meet people of similar interests and similar temperaments. Places where they can explore their imaginations and enjoy themselves. And not everybody enjoys the same activities. There's a wide range of activities to enjoy in Second Life, everything from gardening to dancing to resting on an exotic beach as the sun sets. So one of the first things people want to do when they get into a virtual world is shape themselves, shape how they want to be viewed by others. And that's an amazing opportunity for monetization, and it's an amazing opportunity for fun and fulfillment. I'm going to jump right in. Normally, a new member of Second Life's first task would be to download the client, jump in world, and see if it is to their liking. They'll travel around, see the sights, interact with some players, and get used to the UI. Once they're done doing some of that, they'll eventually come around to the Second Life Marketplace, which is a web presence they can access anywhere, from their phone, at home, at work, on the bus. It's a great place to browse all the things available to them to make their experience in Second Life more enjoyable. And when a resident lands on the page, they'll be reassured to know that there's some security in place. We see the sign out option. That's basically indicating that they're signed in, as is the resident's name. In this case, it's NVZN. And they'll also be shown their balance, and they'll have the option of buying more lindens directly from this page. And notice to the left, you've got the language button. It's important to understand that with anything that's been around for 13 years, it's going to spread all over the globe, especially if it's on the internet. You can download a client and get inside Second Life from almost any country in the world. And so translating products into different languages is super important to broadening their reach. Once a resident gets used to these basics, what they're going to notice each and every time they log into the marketplace is this big splash section, which I've highlighted here. It often carries promotions tied to specific keywords. So with Halloween coming up, this fall fashions will eventually turn into something more Halloween related. Now, any products tagged with the word Halloween will suddenly appear if I were to click on this promotional space. So many stores will go in and update products to add Halloween to them if they think it's applicable. The area right below the splash page is called the featured items section. It's essentially a carousel where shop owners can pay a little bit of extra money, a little bit of extra fee to have their products featured. And as I sit on any page, this featured items section will scroll on a small timer in the hopes that someone will click on one of the items, or at least that's the hope of the shop owners. Below that are the currently trending items. Any items that have been selling an unusual amount in the past 24 hours are featured here. There's no extra listing fees, nothing like that. All you need to appear here is a really hot selling product. And the reason why it gets surfaced for free is Second Life makes 5% on every sale. So if they have something that's moving quickly and selling well, they're going to do everything they can to keep that product moving. To the left is the browsing palette that allows you to browse products by category. It's not a full list, and as you click on these top level items, they'll break down into subcategories. It's a very efficient way to just window shop. We can also browse by community. There are many thousands of communities in Second Life, but a lot of them have an overarching theme, and when these themes hit a certain critical mass, they're included in the community section. So if you were into vampires, for example, a very popular theme nowadays, that would be your spot to click on, and that would give you a broad range of products specifically tailored to the vampire enthusiast community. And what marketplace wouldn't be complete with the ability to see just a shotgun blast of all the categories at once, in addition to all the best-selling products ever since Second Life was created. Finally, if you're not here to just casually browse, you can always perform a keyword search. You can search in all categories or in a specific category. You can choose different maturity levels and so forth, as well as just search broadly or within a specific store. We can break down that resulting search on additional axes as well, such as cost, the amount of server load it creates, and its permissions. However, we're just going to randomly pick something on this screen here. Here's this featured item. Looks pretty neat. Let's have a look. As you may have guessed, clicking on that took us to a very detailed page about that specific product. Here we see the same picture blown up quite a bit larger, as well as an alternate picture. Now there may be multiple alternate pictures to give you a better perspective on the look of this object and how you might use it. Furthermore, you can learn a little bit more about the product by clicking on the Contents menu. As you can see, it gives you the name of each individual item included in the product, as well as the permissions. We'll be talking about permissions a little later. Perhaps the biggest change to Second Life's marketplace in the last few years has been the broad adoption of social media. Now previously we had the rating system in place, and that worked very well, but it didn't get the message out to the broader world. Nowadays, you can find products on Second Life and like them. which will put them on Facebook, and you can share these purchases with your friends and your excitement over them. Not only that, you can Twitter them or email them to friends very easily at the click of a button. With this sort of social media integration taking place, you're seeing more and more advertising happening within Facebook. There's individual groups devoted directly toward this, as well as groups that show the products in the context of a larger framework, such as photography. And it's a wonderful place to share not only your avatar's look, but enjoy the look of other avatars, as well as the environments that they inhabit. Once an advertisement has sold you on the product, it's very easy to then go in and buy it. You can simply add it to your cart and continue browsing, send it as a gift, or buy it with one click. You can also get a demo version of the product if you're still not confident. We'll be getting into demo products later. Suppose, however, that this isn't exactly what the customer wanted. Perhaps they wanted it a different color or a slightly different style. Second Life Marketplace allows you to retain this customer by giving you a chance, as the proprietor, to display related items. So instead of the window shopper to just move on to another store, they have the option of looking at what else you have to offer along these lines. And this is a wonderful avenue by which you can keep customers at your store and perhaps sell them on something more suitable to their needs. And when we're talking about a specific store, we're also talking about that store's brand. One of the wonderful things about Second Life's marketplace is it allows you to establish a brand and build confidence with your customers so that when they see your branding, they know they're tapping into that same quality that they got from previous purchases. Clicking on that area will take us to the marketplace presence for that particular store. Notice the banner. It's a chance for the store to convey their mood, their attitude, and the types of products they offer. It also promotes brand recognition, which is incredibly important. To the left, you can also talk about the store, or describe its policies regarding returns, or alterations, or commissions. But probably the most important thing, the thing that separates this page from all others, is In-World Store. By clicking on that, we're going to visit stores like this, immersively and in-world. That's what we're going to do next. This is the character we're going to be working with. He's a fairly janky looking character. He's what you get basically as one of the defaults you can choose. He's not state-of-the-art by any means, but that creates all those monetization opportunities. There's a huge cottage industry of crafters, such as myself, who create goods to enhance the appearance and the fun for everybody. So, first thing we're going to do is tackle this guy's look. And right now, as you can see, the skin's a little washed out, his eyes are a little odd, his hair's surely not state-of-the-art. So we're going to go in, and the first place we'll go, once we've logged in, is we're going to go to the marketplace. And we're going to look for men's skin. And as you can see here, there's lots of products here. On the left side, you'll see all kinds of different things that show up when you type in things like men's skin. One of the things I see here really caught my eye right off the bat. It isn't men's skin, but it's actually this hair that you see in the upper left, the picture there. And it's fairly cheap. And looking at that, I can probably guess that that store has some pretty good stuff. So I might even find my skin there. So let's go ahead and click on that. And here it is. So here's what it should look like. It looks like there's a demo version, so I don't have to spend the money right away. So let's go ahead and just get the demo version. And so here we are. It's clearly the demo version. They've helped us by graying it out. Now that's something the store's chosen to do to help illustrate the fact that it's a demo. Won't cost us money, but won't be fully featured. We also see that the permissions of this are copy only. We won't be able to do any modification. Wouldn't be much point in it being a demo if we could modify it and perhaps mitigate any problems we might see it being a demo. So I've added it to my cart. As you can see, it's $0. But we'll go ahead and check out. and I place, okay, it has me review some other products that I might be interested in, given that I've purchased this. I'm going to place my order, and there it is. Now I've paid for it, and now it's going to tell me how to collect my purchase. Well, your purchase is scheduled for delivery. A receipt is on its way to you, and there we go. So now we're back in World, and we see we've gotten a notification that we've gotten this this hairstyle in my received folder. So I'm going to go to my received folder, and I'm going to go ahead and equip it. Now, as you can see, I look a lot worse than I did before, and that's because I've been what they call ruthed. Ruthed is when you're returned to the original character look. So I was originally in a more modern mesh figure, but when I start modifying my appearance, it's going to return me back to the basics. But you can see that I've got some new hair there. You can see that it's clearly marked demo. Now, if this were mod, I could erase demo, but it's only marked copy. So I can never really use this hair unless I want to look like a dipstick, because it'll say demo on my forehead, and you see also the hair also says demo in it. But I like this. I think this is ultimately going to look like pretty cool hair. I'm obviously, going to address that skin before too long. But let's go back and look at this hair, and we see it's by Redgrave Skins and Fashion. Well, that's good news, because I'm looking for a skin. But also notice that it says visit a store. So I'm going to click on visit a store, and it's going to take me in World if I continue to follow this link. So here I am in the store. Now you see it's a much more immersive experience than it is the web page. You get this little notification of Redward Skins Fashion. It's been around since 2007. I think I'm in pretty good hands. It's a rated G area, so I know I'm not going to embarrass myself at this meeting. Well, let's walk forward, and I see there's a thing that says men over there. Let's walk toward that. And as I'm walking toward it, I notice that I'm able to receive an email, a notification, whenever there's news for men or women or both. I'm only interested in the men, but I'm going to go ahead and join that. I might get some cool deals later on down the road. And this, again, is not something that's offered directly through Second Life, but this is a store that's created this service from scratch. I'm going to join that, and then I'm going to continue on in. And as soon as I walk through the door, I'm struck by all the things available to me. I've got shoes, pants, all kinds of stuff. I don't see any skins yet, but I do see some shoes, and I also see that those are demo. Let's have a look at these shoes. They're pretty nice compared to what I'm wearing. So looking at that shoe, I think, okay, let's give that a whirl. I'm going to need a new shoe at some point. Let's try these out. So I can click on that, buy the contents for $0, and now I'll have my own copy. So let's throw these on real quick. Well, now look at that. That's a far nicer looking shoe than I had on before. I'm going to position it to myself till it looks accurate. And I'm glad I didn't buy it, because right around the corner were a host of other shoes. So I'll have to come back here and browse at my leisure some other time, but let's continue on with our main goal of getting ourselves a skin. So I turn another corner, and I've got all these gorgeous men here. I can look like any of them without any problem. But I don't see anything I like here. These are a little too boyish for my needs. I'm a grown man, so let's go find ourselves a grown man. Now there's a good-looking fella. Let's pick this up. Let's see how this looks on me. Let's see. You can see there's a pretty big difference about what I look like by what I look like now and what I could look like. So let's give this a whirl. Let's equip this. Well, already I'm looking pretty good. I still like the grizzled appearance of the guy in the videos, or guy in the backdrop. So let's see if we can find that. Now there we are. So there's, as you can see in the demo, there's a lot of variants of this Craig fella. So I've picked this one for now, and again, you see it's a demo. It's tagging his skin. It's also drawing some lines through him to kind of screw him up a little bit. So I'll have to make the purchase if I want to look this good. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the kind. Oh my, look at the price of that. So that's about $3. So my first purchase in World is going to be about $3. Luckily, I have $5 to spend of my money that I seeded this character with. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that, and I'm going to get it. And I get notifications. I've still got my old hair, you'll notice, but my skin looks much better than before. Well, let's go back and find that hair. Let's go ahead and buy that hair. And as you see, I've bought it. You can see the demo down below, but now I've got the new one. I'm going to go ahead and equip that and see how I look. Now that's more like it. That's more of a modern character, but you'll notice these eyes look pretty strange. You know, you have to have some artistic congruity between all your different pieces. So I want everything to look congruous and not have anything stand out as being odd. As I walked around, I noticed there were some eyes to purchase. I think I like those brown ones on the end, so I'm going to buy those. I still have 239 lindens yet left. That's about $1. And so I go ahead and buy it. So now you can see there's a vast difference between how I started the game and how I finished it. And all of this was accomplished in under probably a half hour. Now I could continue on like this for days, weeks, and months as I evolve my character. I evolve his personality and his persona. Because my end goal here is to create a mascot, if you will, for a business. So I'm not just here to have fun, I'm here to create. So I'm pretty happy with what I've done, and I want to keep this economy going. So it's important to me personally as a business owner to always give back to the community, not only in my money, but in posting reviews that are helpful, and it also helps get my name out there. People will see my reviews, perhaps click on me, and learn a little bit about my store that I'll have before too long. So I can save out these individual outfits and skins and hair and become anything I want at the click of a button. I can save out as many outfits with as many different looks as I want. Now this was a pretty simple example of getting myself ready to go. As a man, you don't have to do too much go through too much trouble. But as you can see from over here, you've got the women's products. There's literally over 1 million products you can buy if you're a woman. Just in clothing alone. And if you look over to in this middle column, you'll see handbags, hats, gloves, jewelry. Jewelry is a fascinating thing. It sells for an outrageous amount of money, and it's all these little accessories that really add up and really allows people to create profitable businesses. And we're just talking about things you can wear. There's a lot more products to buy because the avatar isn't the only vehicle through which we can push products. People will want to go places and do things, and eventually they'll want to own their own places. So here you can see home and garden is a fairly large category, but here's all the other stuff that can really build out the world. Building components and scripts, that's one of the more important ones. That helps create the world all around us that we navigate through. And so we might start with a house like this, for example. And you know, when you see an empty room like this, you kind of have this bowerbird behavior where you want to nest and fill it with things that are important to you. Now you could go out and do some shopping. Here's an example of a woman who creates fashions in Second Life, and here's how she wants to portray herself when she has guests visiting. And it might calm her and soothe her to have this sort of environment as she creates. Now, when you go out shopping, if you've known anything about Second Life, you know, it goes back many years, over a decade, you're probably expecting to see stores that might look like this, which is fairly garish, and this is not something you'd normally see when you go out into the world. But things have changed pretty considerably in Second Life in recent years. Now, when you go out shopping, you're going to encounter places like this, which is far more agreeable to browsing and shopping, but you still have that sort of showroom look and feel. So you can get a lot of variety, and even more variety than you might expect from most stores. As you can see here, you've got pretty nice layouts of the actual products themselves in a diorama setting, but this is just a showroom. We don't have to put, you know, many versions of this out onto the floor because we can show pictures up there, and if you were to click onto those pictures, these dioramas could actually change and become the color or the style that you're looking to buy. Another exciting opportunity that makes things a little different in Second Life is this idea of gacha, which they have a much lower price for the end product. You see here chairs and dressers and so forth. It's a much lower price, but you're not sure which color you're going to get out of it. So it's sort of like gambling with your money. You can hope that you get these individual items of a particular color, but you won't always. Anyway, it's a fun way to go shopping. So, as I said, there's lots of beautiful dioramas. Some of them are indoors, some of them are outdoors, some of them are in between and really give you the sense that you're walking through a home. The items to buy range widely. You'll find people wanting to outfit every room in the house to be a simulacrum of what they might have in real life. So you'll find kitchens, bathrooms, showers, all kinds of strange stuff. And you'll even find even crazier stuff to enjoy outdoors. So you've got showrooms that are outdoors for outdoor products, and you can teleport around, as you see here, to see different types of products, and you don't have to wander around too far. Now, what I've shown you so far are pretty elegant looking, but now we can go into the stylish areas of town. And here's a company called Dirty Princess that sells beautiful clothing, very stylish, very high end. They like to arrange their world so it feels like you're going to a very high end shopping center. And you go in, and it's gorgeous. It's well laid out. There's great sight lines, just like an average or a perfect showroom at a high end mall. And there's lots of opportunities, different ways to pay. They accept Visa, MasterCard, not just Linden's. Some people are moving toward Bitcoin, for example. And again, it's not, you could, the amount of products geared toward women is absolutely immense. Everybody likes to look pretty unique, so there's so many different permutations of how you can set up an avatar. There's a limitless number of unique looking people in Second Life. And that goes all the way to the hair, and here you can see that this woman's trying on some demo hair. You can try it right on, right there with your outfit. You can do it immediately without having to guess if you're going to like the hair. And hopefully one day they'll wind up something like this and can go to a nice gig and hang out with friends, listen to music and so forth. Or they might spend their money building out a home, as an example of a home that's open for an open house, and you can walk around, and you might go for a fairly simple looking home, or you could go for something professionally crafted in a professional CAD modeling tool such as Chief Architect. And when you do that, you'll find places like this, which is much more high end and much more expensive, and it's a much nicer neighborhood. And I expect in the future we'll have far more immersive tools and easy to use tools in Chief Architect. Your average user will be able to do things like they can do in Sims 4, where it's very easy to arrange entire rooms that suit your needs. And that's it for the consumer experience, and now we're going to concentrate on what it might be like to be a builder, creator, and designer.